Hi all, this is Rex King again. Today I thought we would go over the parable of the talents that's in the Bible. It's in Matthew chapter 25, a good portion of that chapter. I'm not going to actually read the scriptures. I'm just going to go to the core of it right off the bat. Everybody pretty much knows the parable already, so I'm not going to take the time to do it. I'm going to try and keep this video fairly short if I can. 3 servants were given 5 talents, 2 talents, and 1 talent. Okay, let's assume that the first talent was the Old Testament, the work done in the Old Testament that God had done on earth, because that's what this is about. Okay, the second one is 2 talents, the New Testament, the work that was done by the first century Christians, that testament. Okay. And then the third talent is, let's assume that Jehovah's Witnesses, as they have proclaimed for the last 150 years almost, or whatever the time period is, that they're the ones that have that talent, that they're the ones that's doing the preaching work on earth today, doing God's work on earth today, and that every other organization is the one that's not doing it. So basically what Jehovah's organization is saying is that they're the ones that's actually doing the work. They say that they're doing the work with these other 2, for those, the prophets of the Old Testament and New Testament. And that the ones that aren't doing it properly, they're these, and they're the ones that should be rejected. But let's just assume, let's just assume for a minute that Jehovah's Witnesses are the ones doing the one, and the 1 talent is the preaching work, and they're doing it. So in reality, they're doing the preaching work, and that would make sense. If the talent is the preaching work, like Jehovah's Witnesses said, then the preaching work, whoever's got it, would be judged by it. Okay, in this time in the end. Okay. Anyway, so if Jehovah's Witnesses are responsible to do this preaching work today, then let's see how this leads. Did not make talent grow. How? Okay, in other words, that's what the issue becomes in the parable. That's why Jesus, or the one that returned, the master who returned, was mad about, and says, what were they supposed to do, governing body? Asked the governing, what were they supposed to do? Preach. They returned the talent. Okay, they returned the talent. So the question comes is what is Jesus angry about? If they returned the talent, they did the preaching, they did exactly what said the responsibility they were given, so they did it. And what's the big deal? They buried their talent into preaching. That's exactly what they were supposed to do. They buried their talent into Isn't that what the man does? And the servant, he buries the talent into preaching. And that's exactly what Jesus did. The governing body did as they say Jesus was directing them to do, or they were directed to do. So what is Jesus angry about? They did not grow into what they preached. They did not grow into what they preached. They preached paradise, but they did not actually prepare the congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses to enter paradise, because they're not prepared. So yeah, they've been preaching paradise for years and years, but they haven't prepared their servants, actually the ones preaching, to enter it. And how is that possible? Because the people who hate cannot manifest paradise. And Jehovah's Witnesses today hate more than anybody else on earth, far as I know. Because Jehovah's Witnesses today are taught by the governing body that 99.9% of the people on earth today, maybe even more than that, all but the few million that are Jehovah's Witnesses, are ready to be destroyed at Armageddon. That is the interpretation that they have not overcome. They did not grow into what they preached. They're still hung up with the handicap that Adam and Eve had at the beginning, the ignorance of their mind that made them believe in the devil, because they could not prevent it because they were too ignorant. And yet the governing body in this day and age, when a man like me has figured this out, okay, they don't have all the wherewithal and the financial resources and the and the broadcasting ability and all that other stuff, they haven't figured this out. Why is Jesus angry at them? I'll tell you why Jesus is angry at them. Because they've been claiming to do what Jesus wants them to do, and doing it in such a way that has blocked anybody else from doing it any better because of their insistence on secrecy and power and some kind of like as if they were standing on top of a tomb, and all of the work they were supposed to do is right underneath them. They're standing on the tomb, and nobody can dig it up and go out and use it and make it grow because they refuse to let anybody to, they were camping out on the work. So here Rex, who's been trying to figure this out for years, I mean, at least several years since I've met with a circuit overseer, letting them know my concerns, never called me back once to say, hey, look, man, we've really taken you serious and we're working on this matter or anything. 5 years later or whatever it's been, maybe even more, here we are, and the organization hasn't figured out this yet. And so here Rex has to come along, because he's a servant of Jesus too, just like the governing body and just like every one of you out there, and you don't know it because the governing body are basically goofing you guys up. Anybody that wants to live in paradise, you better stop hating. And hating means you better figure out how to love everybody on earth today, just like they are right now. Okay? Recognizing that everyone on earth today is a servant of God in some state of mind, regardless of who they are, and they deserve respect and love. And there's no hate in paradise. And so if you can't figure out how to love somebody that does something you don't like, you're not going to be able to go to paradise, because those people are not going to be destroyed for your liking. Jesus said that in paradise there would be resurrection of the righteous and the unrighteous. Okay? Well, the unrighteous are being resurrected in that they're going to be able to live through this period and overcome their devils and become paradise. The righteous that are resurrected are those like us who figure out there's no devil right now and stop hating. And then we start spreading the word that, paradise is here if you just learn to love and stop hating. It's already here. In the Garden of Eden, Jehovah basically told Adam and Eve, you are the creators of this world. And in their ignorance, they created a devil, and that devil has affected the creation that Adam and Eve would create, because it has been in the foundation, thinking that this is a real thing. But as soon as a Christian, a person comes to their senses and realizes that Jesus is angry, Jehovah is angry with anyone that thinks there's a devil that's keeping us from paradise. The only thing that's keeping us from paradise is we keep creating a devil, and we keep creating it especially if our leaders insist on us having a devil. And because we keep creating a devil, we create a devil world. If millions of people, Jehovah's Witnesses, are praying right now that Armageddon come, and that Armageddon is a cataclysmic event on earth that's going to destroy most of mankind, okay, because they're bad. If several million Jehovah's Witnesses are actually praying that and requesting that to happen, well, that is exactly the power that they were given by Jehovah in the garden through Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. That is the power to manifest a creation. And they are praying right now earnestly for most of mankind to be destroyed and for this earth to become a paradise thereafter. Well, what's going to happen is you're going to get to destruction. It's going to happen, okay? If you keep praying for it, it's going to happen in some way. And what I mean by that is it's going to be arrested. Just like World War I was arrested and World War II was completely, eventually arrested and overcome, and it didn't take over completely. Well, this one won't take over completely either. But every day it lasts, another person's dead. Every day that somebody out there is praying for something bad to happen on earth, something bad's going to happen on earth. And when you've got several million sincere people that think that the best thing that can happen on earth right now is for millions and billions of people to die, and they're praying that every day, why do you think Jesus is angry? Again, brothers, I sincerely hope that y'all take the time to listen to these videos. Help them to, please take them from the spirit that they're be given. You know, Jesus, well, the Bible says that Jehovah loves those he disciplines. Well, it's not too late, brothers. The fact is this right here is a prophecy. Okay, this is a prophecy being fulfilled. If you brothers really believe in the truth, if you really believe in Jehovah, and you really believe in Armageddon from the viewpoint that its fulfillment is here, well, it's happening, but it's not happening the way you think it's happening, okay? It's happening. You are going through your Armageddon right now by me doing this to you, putting you in a position where y'all got to face y'all reality. And the reality is there is no devil. And as long as you keep a devil, Jesus is going to be angry with you, and you're never going to go to paradise because you hate people. And you can't hate people because Jesus clearly said you have to love your neighbor as you love yourself. If you happen to find yourself in a condition where you ignorantly did something you're sincerely regretful for, okay, how would you want to be treated? Okay, well, that's your neighbor now. It's just that simple, brothers. Look, I'm going to stop this now. We're at 12 minutes. Hopefully I've presented a presentation that's nice and curt and helps y'all to realize the position you guys are in right now and what Jesus is looking for. Thank you very much, and peace and security on earth soon. Please, brothers, come around.